2, 1, live. Here we are, Dangiuz. I'm here in Brighton, and it's a classic Brighton day. Cold, wind, rain, and when is this kind of weather, a friend of mine that I always play tennis with called me and say, perfect day to go play tennis outdoor. And I say, yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's crazy.
I'm sure it's not fantastic for you, is it?
It's horrible. It's horrible. But I start to get used. Where do you live?
I live in Milan right now, and
Oh,
it's not a typical Milan day because it's sunny and quite hot for being like January. So, we take as it comes, you know.
fantastic. Milan, by the way, I'm originally from Milan.
Oh,
And I
that's
have to
amazing.
say that after the Expo, Milan changed completely. So now
Yeah.
I've been there. It was very international, a
I,
lot of...
I'm just being in Milan for like 6 months. I was here like 1 year ago or something. But I'm originally from Turin, So I was
right.
born in Turin, raised in Turin, lived there for like 20 years, 25 years. So, I'm just here in Milan as a guest.
When did you start doing all of your art? By the way, is beautiful. I was checking yesterday. What is Porsens Bay?
Yeah,
Is
percentage is my last one.
oh my God, it's such an incredible atmosphere. Every time give me this feedback of this word. I don't know how you do it, really.
Thank you so much, Marco. I appreciate that. I started doing graphic design when I was like 14, so like um, more than 10 years old, more than 10 years ago. So I was already passionate about art, about everything that's design and creativity when I was like a kid. And yeah, I started like with paint, Microsoft Paint. I was like very young with my first laptop. So yeah, I decided to sign for a graphic design school in high school, and then I
Right.
got a diploma, and I got like passionate about it. I started to investigate about new techniques, new programs, new, everything that's concerned that world. And like in 2014, when I got my first job as a graphic designer, standard graphic designer, after a while, I got passionate about 3D art. I discovered 3D art and 3D softwares, techniques, and I realized how powerful it could be if you learn to use like 3D software in the right way. And yeah, I instantly got passionate, and I started shifting my focus from what it was back then, like the graphic design, into like a more artistic approach. Let's say art and like compositions, lighting, and yeah, I slowly started getting passionate, getting in love with it, and I slowly started getting my first clients. Working with musicians, rappers, and DJs. Like to make either artworks for their albums or like songs or like animated videos. And yeah, so that's the way I sort of grew up, like in terms of technique, in terms of profile, in terms of as a figure in the field. And yeah,
And
so
when did you meet the, let's say, the crypto world? Because it's interesting how I I know so many artists, and until I would say a couple of years ago, every time someone say, I'm an artist, I was kind of, saying, oh, come on, man, you can do it. Don't give up,
yeah,
And now
right.
if I meet some kind of crypto artist, I mean, they are so successful, and it's
Right.
completely different now, the scenario. When did you meet crypto for the first time?
So I have some friends which are into crypto by long ago, like let's say 2015, 2014. So like I got very lightly into crypto in 2017, and I bought a couple of Ethereums, and I just held them for no reason. Like I just held them because
Right.
I had no idea what I could do with it. I was just holding them. So in 2020, I was contacted by some guy telling me, like your art is amazing and you should consider selling them as NFTs. And I started digging into NFTs, and I found out how powerful of a technology it could be, not just for art but for digital collecting, and like for everything. Like how many usages NFT technology have. So um And at that time, it was like about June 2020, if I'm not wrong. Um, uh,
And sorry,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt. Until that moment, were you publishing your art on
I
your
was
website or
right. I was publishing my art across my social media solely
right?
and exclusively, like for exhibition purposes. You know, like in the
Okay,
vein, like in the hope that maybe some client will see it and will say, maybe yeah, let's do something similar together. Let's do something
got it.
for a paid
Some
gig. You know.
galleries, maybe.
Right, right. I will always use my social media as a gallery mainly, in the hope for some exposure that the algorithm maybe connects you with an important client, with an important brand to do something together. And yeah, that's it. So when NFTs popped up, I didn't instantly join the world. I didn't instantly join the world because I took my time to reflect on it. And also at that time, I was having some trouble because like June 2020 was like pandemic spike in Italy. So
Right,
um, I had to go back to Turin because at the time I was in Milan, and yeah, I had to find out something to do. I found some new jobs, like they say smart working in Italy. uh, I had to find some that thing. Um, and yeah, so I started working with some studios, and I kept also working with my own artworks and publishing them on my social media. And when I sort of fix my stuff, when I got some stuff arranged and done in the good way, like um, I decided to join the NFT world in like October 2020, November 2020.
okay,
And finally, in February 2021, I decided to mint my first piece on Super Rare, which is Grand Challenge, which at the time was probably one of uh, my most shared artwork across all over social media. I guess one of my most popular artworks.
right.
And yeah, that's where it came to my mind, like, wow, this is amazing. Like people can just love your art for what it is, and people don't want to um, commission you stuff. They love it for what it is, and you have like total creative freedom, and paper blank, and you know all this sort of stuff, which are very important for artists, I believe.
In that case, did you just mint a previous piece of art that you or have already done and decided to mint it as an NFT? Or you started to think immediately, all right, I should create some kind of art that is only an NFT, let's say, and so you trying to think in a native way about NFTs instead of, let's say, repurposing content or art from the traditional world or previous world. How did you approach that?
Right. So at that time, I asked a lot for advice about this thing that you asked me. And in the end, I decided to go with my most popular piece because I believe it was like my strong point. Like I know this artwork is one of my strong point. I have to use this jolly card, like I have to use uh, this wild card. Because like I figured out, if the first one goes wrong, everything else is gonna go downhill from here. So I want to start with the right foot, and so I did. And yeah, so I've been advising other people to do the same. When people ask me for about their first mint, of course we're talking artists, I tell them to use their best piece to
Right.
start with. So yeah, like in more than 5-10 years of graphic design and art, I have a lot of piece that I've made, something that I never published, something that I never minted. But when I started in NFTs, I instantly I didn't I never it never ever crossed my mind that I wanted to just dump 10 years of career into NFTs and like watch it go sell out or anything. Like I took this very seriously from the very beginning, and I was like, okay, I know this is gonna be there forever, for like forever. So I only want to choose the pieces that mean the most to me, and pieces that I deemed to be valid, like on every base, like on technically, artistically, and like even on the meaningful side, So yeah, that's why I decided to take it very lightly, take it very seriously, and I minted only the pieces that I deemed to be worthy.
About this, I have a very stupid question. So you will realize how I'm not an artist at all. I would never be able to be an artist because
Right.
every time that I see something like your work, I think, man, how do you decide when it's finished? Because in my mind, it's like a book. When is the book ready to go? So I was curious to understand if you have like a process there uh, that that you follow to say, all right, now it's ready, or it's just a feeling and say, yeah, that's it. I like it, and it's ready.
Right. So I believe like working in the art field develops in you a sort of artistic eye. So like when working art, talking art, and living art every day, seeing artists, seeing artworks, working on your art, and like selling, buying art, you develop this sort of critic eye, and you realize like there's nothing wrong in liking something that maybe it's not technically valid or like artistically valid. Like art is completely subjective and there is no point in discussing that. So regarding my own artworks, I believe I developed this artistic eye, and it's keeping like it I will keep developing it through years and so on. And so that's how I help myself deciding when an artwork is finished, because like I believe from zero, like let's say there's an imaginary line from 0 to 100, and I believe like the artwork is finished between like 75% and 100. Like you don't want to go over 100, because otherwise you get things overdone, like maybe you get too many stuff and like it
Right.
gets too confusionary, too crowded. And I've found myself most of the times I don't really add stuff. I remove stuff, because I end up adding too much, and then I step back, I look at the bigger picture, and I say, okay, now this is too much. Like I shifted the focus too much. I went down the rabbit hole. So I take a step back and started removing stuff. I take a lot of time to do my artworks because like I'm really fond to it. I really want to uh, like draw and make stuff till the very last detail. But at the same time, I realized this could also be like how can I say counterproductive.
Right.
So yeah, I my advice to all the artists is to spend a lot of time on their artworks, but like to also take breaks and like realize that you might be going too far with effects, with yeah, elements, and with all that concern the artwork.
Got it. What's your daily artistic routine? Is it like every day you got a slot where you do whatever happen? You just stay there thinking, and then you get the idea and you do it. How does it work? That
So let's say I take like 15 to 20 days to make an artwork, right? So when I start an artwork, I just sit endless hours on like Pinterest, Google, or if I have an idea in mind, till I find something that I visualize in my mind and I really say, okay, I like this. I want to see how this goes. And then I start maybe sketching on iPad or on paper or even just on Photoshop or Illustrator or anything. And when I come up with something, I switch to my main program, which is Cinema 4D, and I start building up the thing. I start making my buildings, or maybe I also use a lot of purchased assets or downloaded assets. And yeah, I start um, creating the composition, trying different lighting, trying different scenarios. I try to go by storytelling in my mind. I try to visualize a story that says, okay, this could be good, but this is more catchy. Okay, this works, this doesn't work. So I go by the day. So basically, I don't really follow, let's say, a pre-made routine or a pre-made process or path. I go by the day and I come up with anything. And then, like, I like to call it turning point. Like, there's this sort of turning point into art that, like, it's the moment you realize that there's no turning back. So when you pass the point, you are 100% sure that you are gonna give birth to a new artwork. So that's one of the best feeling, because I realized that my artwork has made it past the draft phase, the work in progress phase, and I'm working on a real thing, because like I also tend to waste a lot of time, not waste, but tend to spend a lot of time on artworks that then end up in the trash bin, because like
All right.
I spend too much time on it and I starting to hate it. I say, nah, this is not gonna work. I need something new. I need something fresh. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's it. I spend my
How
time
long does
working.
it take usually to go from zero to the final piece of art?
Yeah, 15 to 20 days, most likely.
All right. Okay. So relatively fast.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know there are artists that make one or even two pieces per day. So, like, I could never do that because, like, I'm notoriously slow in doing art. But yeah, 15 to 20 days is fairly fast for traditional paintings and stuff. And it's very slow for digital art
Okay.
standards.
Got it. I was curious about another thing. With digital art and with all of the softwares, the tools that you can use, it's like Pro Tools in music sometimes. You have a lot of set templates and so on. So it's not easy to find your own unique voice, and you have it, and you have a very specific. I don't know. Even someone ignorant like me, I see something, I think, oh, is it Dangiuz? Yeah, he is. It's like when you hear a singer and you say, oh, this is Bruce
Right.
Springsteen. Yes, it's Bruce
Right.
Springsteen. You just need one word or one sound. How did you find that, and what do you suggest to artists that are maybe struggling to find their unique positioning?
Right. So this question is one of the biggest compliments for me, because like I get this a lot. And when people say, when I see a mega city, I see a cat, I instantly know it's you. And if it's not you, it's someone that's copycatting you. So
Right.
like this is one of the biggest compliments for me. So I don't know if there's like a specific strategy to overcome this and to get this done, but I believe like you have to find inside yourself what you really love doing, what you really like doing, what you believe you enjoy doing from here to 5 or 10 years. So after you did this, you realize that there's no turning back again, because like you don't want to, let's say, um, betray your fan base, your community, so even if tomorrow nobody will like my stuff anymore, and even if tomorrow people will go full on minimal or full or another like conceptual art or any another kind of art, I don't see myself swapping just for the sake of following the trend, like I don't see myself doing that ever. And like it goes against what I am and what I believe, and it will also be not fair towards all the people that supported me till now, not just with with purchasing or that kind of stuff, but also in terms of following, in terms of appreciating and commenting into my stuff, taking the time to analyze my work and all that things. So two artists, I just will say to experiment till they don't find something that they really like. And if they see themselves doing what are they doing right now in like 5 years, then keep doing that. And just remember that like not everybody will like what you do, what you're doing. But if you just jump from one trend to another just to follow the trend, just to make a quick sale or something,
Right.
that you will be just remembered as someone who doesn't really have a nice position, like some nice art. You're just someone who's looking for some quick sale.
Also, you don't take the time to go deeper and master the art of a
Right.
very specific
Right.
technique, maybe.
You're
What
right.
what did influence you to make what you do? I was thinking about what was the name in Italy? Ken il Guerriero. I don't know how you say it
Oh,
in
right.
English.
Oh, yeah. I don't know either.
Right.
Shall it
So
be Ken the Warrior? I don't know.
the warrior, or in Italy we had all of this manga on television, and
Right.
Goldrake and all of this stuff.
Right.
What did influence your work the most?
Right. So I was always passionate about sci-fi and cyberpunk movies. Like as a kid, I used to love Matrix, like the Matrix. And like growing up, I always fell in love not just with the aesthetic side of sci-fi and cyberpunk, but also with like the, let's call it the political message, like these evil corporations trying to trying to get the best, like against the poor people, the poverty, and
Control and manipulate.
yeah, exactly. I like this lore, this storytelling a lot, like this all sort of world. So I also got passionate about like Orwell books and like many other amazing movies and TV series that has been made and books that has been made. I was passionate about that, and I like to represent in my way, because of course, like, you can say my artwork, my art in general are inspired by Blade Runner and maybe Altered Carbon, Ghost in the Shell, but in the end, like, I have my own view, I have my own universe, my own world, my own storytelling. Like, for example, I get a lot that people like the adventure of the man and the cat, the woman and the cat. So yeah, I think this is my own thing. I like that about my art, which is, to me, is very unique, because, like, yeah, sure, there's a billion of sci-fi work, but like, it's not really a movie where like a man and a cat cross the city into the river into a small boat. So I liked about that,
It's not
And
a
yeah,
movie. It's not a movie yet, because
yeah,
I think
right.
your art is fantastic for movies, adaptation, video games. I mean, there are so many
Thank you.
opportunities there. That's what I predict. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. Have you seen Matrix #4?
Oh, I haven't. And to be
Oh gosh,
completely
me
honest,
too. I didn't read great reviews, and I'm a huge
right,
fan
same,
of Matrix. I only
right,
seen an interview to Keanu Reeves and Trinity about NFTs, and their reaction was like, "What, an NFT?" So that was not really an
right. So,
innovative approach, but
about that, I believe there is a lot to do in terms of education, like to the
yes,
mainstream media, because, like, when you say the word, like the magic three letters NFT, people instantly think about, oh my god, that stupid thing, 1 pixel sold for I don't know
yeah,
how much money. So this just has to be the surface. It's just a provocation, and the thing we have to do, we have to educate them that that's not just NFT. That's one out of the billion usages that the technology, that NFT technology has, and people can spend their money the way they want. So what you call stupid might be a wise investment to someone else, and it might be not. But just because it's digital and so people deem to be not real, it doesn't have to be labeled as stupid or as, oh my god, it's out of the world. So I think we have a long way to go, sorry, and we have a lot to do in terms of education.
I turn 50 this year, so I'm officially old. And, gosh, I remember, when, I don't know, internet came out, or I don't know, Facebook, it was called the Facebook.
Right,
And people say, this stupid stuff no one will ever use. And so many articles written by
right,
professors and experts saying, internet is closed and shutting down. There's only porn there. I mean, it's not true. It always happened the same. Or TikTok. Think about TikTok. And
right,
for long they say, "Oh, it's only stupid dancing." Yeah, but now it's massive. It's huge. Everyone in. So what?
right,
And the NFT, I think, is the same. I told you before. I'm launching my NFTs, and it's all about utility, access. You can do things with me, experience events, and so you can use it in so many ways. And I
right,
see companies. I mean, Nike, Adidas, everyone are jumping in. If you think about it, is as a contract, you understand that you can do so many things, and art
right,
is one of those things. I was curious about artists in general, because since the NFT craze started for art, I got some friends that are not artists, and at all, like zero, worse than me. And they contacted me saying, "Oh, Monty, can you help me promote this, collection?" And I say, "Man, you never draw anything in your life. You're not an artist." And he say, yeah, but I am now because I want to make money, So I say, but that's not how art works, But it's really changed a lot. So I was curious to understand, how do you filter with so many NFTs, so many real artists and fake artists out there? How do you filter? What do you try to see? Because I don't understand the difference, but if you see something, maybe you say, oh, Monty, this is rubbish and this is for real. What do you see to understand if there is a real work behind the piece of art?
So yeah, first of all, let me start by saying that there's nothing wrong in shamelessly wanting to make some money out of it, because like it's a very nice world, it's a very flourishing world, so people will try to come in and make some money, and there is nothing really shameful about it. Like, so how do you filter something being genuine from something being like, let's call it a cash grab? I don't like this word, but let's call it, so you understand my point, right? So in terms of art, you could say something got to know NFTs and art through it, like through the craze that's happening. And there's nothing wrong in being an artist after NFTs. There is nothing wrong with it. So if you call, like, as a collector, you might want to investigate in the past of the artist. Like, let's say if you have an historic sale, if you have like if you made some artworks that are like on other social media, you can prove that that's your art, and you can prove that you were in art way before. That's a good point for you. You can prove that you are not like the the runt of the litter.
Yeah.
So so that's one good way to see it. And also, one important thing, in my opinion, is the approach. Like, if you shamelessly go on Twitter or Instagram and like spam yourselves like spam your link and comment your link everywhere and try to shove your stuff down people's throat, that's a bad way of like presenting your art and introducing yourself. Because, like, assume it, like we are talking right now, me and you, and a third guy joins the chat saying, hey guys, buy my stuff. Like, how would you feel? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Like being on traditional television for 30 years. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I mean,
Buy this mattress. Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, that's the way I see it. So, but at the same time, I understand that this could be like an initial approach, because like people want to be noticed and they don't really know, so they believe this to be the only way. But this is not the only, like, not only this is not the only way, this is also the worst one, in my opinion. And I know there's a lot of people that think the same as I do in this case. I know, like, the genuine way is always the longest one, and is always the hardest one, but it's also the one that will pay off eventually.
With so many projects that start every day, born every day, new people, larger adoption, how an artist promote himself in this scenario? Did you find any good way to establish your presence without being spammy or needy? How do you see it?
So I believe, like, keeping your mind focused on what you're doing is key, because, like, even though you may not get recognition or sales at first, like, everyone knows what's happening. Like, even between small fishes, let's call it small fishes, everyone knows each other. Everyone tends to follow each other, like each other posts on Twitter. So the moment someone notices you and, let's say, buys a piece, even like for a relatively small amount, we can say 0.05, for example, Ethereum, maybe another collector which is in the same range will want to do a similar thing, because they say, yeah, it's not much money, and if that guy bought it, it means he saw it, like he saw a good opportunity, so I'm going to do the same, and another guy is going to do the same. So I think this sort of snowball effect, like, which brings FOMO into other collectors, into other artists, because I myself am not a great buyer, but like sometimes I just can't resist the urge. Like, I see maybe someone that I deeply respect, someone that I deeply estimate. And so I see him buying something, and I have maybe like the wallet ready. So I just unload it and just say, yeah, I want to buy it. I'm going to buy it too. And then maybe someone sees that I buy it, so they do the same. And this is how pretty much a project, in my opinion, or an artist takes off.
Got it. And if you start today, what would you do from zero? You start
I don't
today,
know.
you arrive there. Hi, this is me. 0 followers, 0 piece of art sold. What would you do?
Right. So wait, start today in NFTs or start today as an artist? Like,
Yeah,
what's
start
your
today as an artist. And I would say, considering that crypto and NFTs are here now,
yeah.
probably would be
Right.
like
This is a very good
default.
question. Very good question, because like like I said earlier, I will probably try to experiment. Like, it's so broad, it's so incredibly broad. I will try to experiment and to make good usage of my tools. For example, if I have a good drawing hand, I may try to sketch and draw, see how it goes with hand. And if it doesn't turn out to be good, I can try to swap to digital. I can try maybe programs like 2D programs, or like I can try Procreate. I can try, I don't know, Photoshop, Illustrator. And if that doesn't work, I will maybe try and stick to 3D. For example, I can try
Right.
Cinema 4D or Blender or all these amazing 3D softwares. You know, like, it will be so broad. Before we get into the artistic style, we have to pass through the technical phase, because like you have to have an idea about what you're gonna produce in the end, what final outcome is gonna be. And there are programs and techniques suitable for certain styles, and there are programmer and softwares suitable for other kinds of stuff. You like, this is very too broad of a question. Like,
Right.
you have to find yourself, first of all, liking what you do, and secondly, optimizing, having a good pipeline with softwares, having a good tutorials to follow, maybe to learn more stuff. It's a very broad question. I could go on for hours about this.
Got it. I was curious about two things. First, I was thinking that in end of the 90s, if you want to have a website, the cost was around 1 million lire. So let's
Wow.
say 500,000 euros, something like that. It was a crazy amount of money to create your website. How expensive are the 3D tools? That I remember before they were very expensive, like very, very expensive. Are now affordable?
Right. There are different tiers, like for everything. Every program has different tiers. Like, you can have like monthly subscription, yearly subscriptions, and even like buy lifetime licenses. And for example, I don't use it myself because I use Cinema 4D, but there is Blender 3D, which is a very good 3D
Right.
software, which I myself don't use because like I started with Cinema 4D very long ago, so it will be like a sort of a core for me to swap and relearn Blender, even though like I appreciate it a lot. I love it as a program. And Blender is totally free, so you can just download it and start using it and selling your
Right.
work. So that's it.
Got it. Any platform that you would say you have to be there, like, I don't know, super rare, you say you have to be there, or for utility NFT, maybe OpenSea, even if the gas fee
Right.
are high there, but probably is the place to be. I think they did 1 billion transactions in 4-5 days in
Right. Right.
January, so it's a crazy crazy movement there. So what are the platforms that you recommend?
Right. So I remember when I started more than 1 year ago, there weren't too many platforms, like let's say about four. So
Right.
my choice wasn't like too, too various of a choice. I really didn't have a huge choice. I just looked them up, and I saw what was I thinking it could be the best for my own art. And like I decided to go with super rare because like I believe it's the place to be if you are into one-on-ones being like single artworks, like there's one and one only, so the collector who has it is the only one having it. But there are different platforms that provide different usages, different perks. So for example, if you have to make like some collectible, some avatar line, some 10K drop collectible project, I believe OpenSea could be the best choice. It's like they have a really, you know, responsive thing, like with all the blockchain integration. They have like you can use your own smart contract, and it will be like on OpenSea to for everyone to buy it, to see it, and like the rarity traits. You know, like every platform has their own perks, and I believe it's completely up to you and up to your idea of what you have to make.
Right. I was curious about your organization today. Are you a one-man band? Do you have a team? How does it work?
I'm completely alone. Like everything I
Oh,
make is just to up to me, and like my art is completely made by me. So even like when I make some bad stuff, like some some mistake, you can point it up to me because I was the one making the mistake. No, I don't have any team, any really people working with me or working for me. Nothing like that. And so yeah, I must say sometimes I get on those like 20, 30 emails per day spree. So you know, like sometimes it's hard to answer, to keep it up with everything, but I know this is part of the work, and I like it this way, to be honest.
what about the technical side? Like uploading, managing the different platforms.
Oh, I do it
Uh,
all.
yeah.
I
So
Yeah,
is
I do it all myself. You know, like this is not a really big deal because like my content um, doesn't really get released that often. Like it's maybe two per month, maximum three per month when I'm really feeling inspired. So I can do it myself. Like I don't have any way like that many platforms. Like we could say it's just 10 platforms, and it takes really like not more than 30 minutes to upload them all. Just enter the website, upload file, and I create. I also come up with my own captions and titles for my own artwork. So I just when I come up with that, I say, okay, I just have to copy paste it everywhere, and it's done.
what about the physical piece of art? Are you experimenting also with that? If I buy the NFT, maybe I have a physical printed version or something. I'm really fascinated from that because people say, but I buy the NFT, I cannot put it on the
Right,
wall, and then someone say, no, but you can put it on a digital thing, a digital
right.
frame. All right, but if you have like a nice piece of art is sometimes is a different feeling for some people, maybe for some generation. What do you think?
Right. So I myself use some service to sell some prints of my work, which it's not related at all to NFTs. I just made it because like I often get requests for people that want maybe to gift an affordable print to some friend or like to hang it on their wall. So I like to do that because like I'm for the community, I'm for my own followers, and I want them uh, to feel loved, like to be able to afford the art. And I'm all for it. I'm happy to see when people buy my prints, not just for the like for the recognition, but also because it makes them nice, and it keeps the art flowing in me, if this makes sense to you. So about gifting a print within like the purchase of an NFT, that's something that's cool when made it in the right way, because like you can maybe attach a QR code to the NFT, like to know that that's the print linked to the NFT. So I haven't done it myself. I've seen other people doing it, and I think it's a cool idea. I'm not gonna lie.
Got it. Are you planning to do any physical event, like traditional, how do you say in English, traditional art
Yeah, yeah.
gallery?
No, no,
Uh,
yeah, of course. I think the word traditional conveys it. So I haven't for the moment. Also because like I believe my art being very detailed and being very related to sci-fi stuff and lights, it probably wouldn't soar the same effect on a canvas as it does on a screen, if this makes sense to you, because like I really need those led power. I really need the led power, the light, in order to make my art stand out. So it's something that I have in my mind about doing something physical. I still don't know if I will do it or when or how, but yeah, it's something that crosses my mind every now and then.
I read a cool tweet from yours yesterday. You said not a single NFT project that asked for paid promotions ever did 100x, and not a single NFT project that did 100x ever asked for paid promotion. Coincidence? I think not. And I was reading it after I got another request from a company saying, "Oh, we have unlimited budget. Help us promote our stuff." And every time you see all of these scummy projects offering, of course, you also have good projects that
Right.
have a good strategy, and you have your pay promotion,
Right.
whatever, digital advertising, whatever, of course. But in general, I would say is a big red flag. And so I thought, yeah, I got it exactly.
Right. So first of all, well, let me say the tweet is a little bit provocative. I didn't really word it the right way. It's like I like this redundancy effect that it has with the way I worded it. So let alone the fact that I believe there is nothing wrong in paying people for their influence and for being onboarded in projects. Like, for example, a big project was like really went viral because like a new influencer, an Asian influencer, presented it to their Asian fan base. And since NFTs weren't too popular in Asia at the time, they managed to bring in a lot of people and a lot of new people in the market, in the space. So that was a good, like that was, yeah, most likely a paid promotion, but that was like made in the right way, like made in the genuine way. So they brought us a lot of new people in the space, which are most likely here to stay. So the way I meant what I said is like messaging like 100 billion of people and telling them to, okay, I will pay you 0.1 either to make a tweet about us, and like hoping that a lot of people join your request and accept your request. I believe that's the way to not do it, because like you may contact like 10 different, let's call them influencers, and maybe one of them is a DJ, one of them is a model, one of them is a footballer, and you can easily sense that something's wrong with it. Like what do these people have in common? Nothing, except the fact that they got paid for it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's different when you have a project and you want to target the right people, because for example your project is based on like donation and like green based for like saving the planet, and you contact maybe influencer or actors or footballers that also work into this field and also care about this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the way to do it, I believe. Like, so this is what I meant with my tweet that you mentioned.
Yeah, I totally agree. Also, it's different, as you say. If one topic is, I don't know, climate change, sustainability, and then it doesn't matter. You can be an athlete or an actor, and it is the same thing. You have the same values. But if you are a crypto exchange or you launch a new cryptocurrency and you have an actress or an actor promoting it and they have no idea what it is, that's it's not right also for them. So they should be very careful and very responsible on the project that take on board. But of course, I mean, the advertising and market and influencers, this is like how the market works. But I think paying more attention to this is it will also help to clean the market probably, and let the best projects, best artists, best initiatives to explode, and otherwise maybe sometimes there is too much of a chaos, and people, adoption is a bit blocked also maybe for that, because you don't know is a good project, is legit, is not, and so people wait.
Yeah, no, I think you definitely know it better than me, like the way marketing works, the way all the advertising world works. So yeah, like you said, for mainstream adoption, we also need this kind of project, because like people just need to be onboarded. People just need to be aware about what this world is about and how this project works. And then, of course, like everyone hope that no project is ever like a scam or ever going to zero. We all hope that, but like unavoidably some projects have to be like
Yeah,
some projects unavoidably are going to lose money, not to be like not to not turn out a good investment, if you allow me to say that.
sure.
um
Like
so yeah,
startups,
yeah,
no, like startups that,
right,
not not every startup works,
right,
unfortunately. So
right, exactly,
good to
it's the
know that.
same thing, it's a good analogy. So yeah, no, I think people also need this kind of project to start being aware about this, how this world works, about how you to trust, about when it's the right moment, maybe to decide to invest on an artist, or maybe on a certain project. It's not that different, I believe, even though I don't understand much. Let's say I don't understand nothing at all about investments. I believe it's not too different from what's going on in the NFT world and in the, let me say, traditional world.
What about a movie that you watched in the last 12 months that absolutely you would absolutely recommend? And then I tell you, or movie
Right.
or television series.
Right. So I'm a huge cinema fan, and to an extent, I'm also a cinema connoisseur. I like it a lot. I try to watch every cult movie, every cult series, and I had like years ago, I used to watch like two movies per day. Like I
Right.
mix plots, I mix, like I get confused between the plots and the actors. One good movie I watched in the last year, it has to be. I watched the Persona from Ingmar Bergman.
Right.
It's a old movie from 1966. Um, I also love the Mr. Robot, the series with Rami Malek.
They won
Um,
the. Did he win? Yeah, he won the Oscar for
right,
not that one, but for Freddie
right,
Mercury, I think. Yeah.
right. Also, one thing I try to do with TV series and movies, it's like I try to let the hype and chaos go away, and then like watch it a couple months later, a couple years later, when so I can binge watching, and like like I try to do that because like I don't want to do something just for the FOMO, just for the hype. I just want to take my time and carefully select what I want to watch and why, and yeah. So
Got it.
that's one thing.
Have you seen Don't Look Up with?
I did, yes, I did.
Yeah.
I
It's,
liked
it's
it.
like a documentary for me. It's not a movie. It's a
Right,
documentary of
right.
Ruben Big.
If I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong, but it's the same director from The Big Short, that movie about
Oh, I
the
didn't know it. Yeah.
yeah, I believe it's Adam McKay, if I'm not wrong. If you can, maybe later you can Google it quickly. I believe it's the same director from The Big Short, and I loved both movies. Yeah, so it's a good movie. I liked it.
Big Short also was great. Let me check. Big Short director. I love Big Short, and it's funny because the other day I read a phrase about Michael Saylor,
Right,
from MicroStrategy, and they say, they should do a movie, The Long Short.
right.
No, the big long, the big long,
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's long
yeah,
on Bitcoin. Yeah. Anyway, I can't find it right now, but anyway, yeah, great movie. Yeah. I Don't Look Up also. He also
yeah,
did Don't Look Up.
yeah.
Director, yeah, Adam McKay. I
Right,
didn't know that. I didn't
right.
know that. It's I came in my mind because maybe you watch that movie and you get some ideas for your art, about these
Right.
scenarios or apocalyptic scenarios that could
Yeah, right, right. Yeah,
that
no,
could
it's
happen.
definitely like the latest scenes were amazing, like in the futuristic planet with like fantasy animals, or maybe
Yeah,
like one of the latest scenes too, with like the Earth being completely shattered down to rocks and nothing more, with only Jonah Hill standing on the planet. Very good
yeah,
movie. Oh, probably some
fantastic.
spoilers. Sorry if someone didn't see the movie.
That's it, guys. It's done. Dangiuz, it was such a pleasure to have a chat with you. I hope to meet you in person in Brighton or somewhere
Hopefully,
around the world. And good luck for everything. You are fantastic. Keep going with the good work.
hopefully, we will meet someday, either in Italy or in UK. And thank you so much. It was my pleasure to be here. And keep it up with the good work. I enjoy your channel and your content. And thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.